Hello. In this episode, um, I want to speak to you on the topic of understanding literature. The topic in this episode is understanding literature. A lot of individuals still do not understand literature. They feel, oh, I don't need literature, or it has no purpose for me, or they don't see the benefit of it. You know, but the truth is that whether or not you love literature, you on a daily basis use literature. If you read, you are using literature. Now, in understanding literature, we need to look at three things. You have to look at three things to understand literature. First, you must look at the meaning of literature, the purpose of literature, and the benefits of literature. These are the three things that you have to look at in order to understand the literature. And I'm going to say it again. The meaning, the purpose, and the benefits. Let us first look at the meaning of literature. And the meaning of literature is so wide that there is no one sentence that can describe it or define it. Now, literature can be described as an end product, and in this case it is described as any single body of written work, or and a formalistic definition is any single body of written work that is of artistic or intellectual value. So as an end product, that's the definitions. Any single body of written work, or in a deeper sense, any single body of written work that is of artistic or intellectual value. Now that's as an end product. Literature can be defined as a process, in the sense that literature helps you to understand the world around you. It broadens your vocabulary, it sharpens your self-expression, and it gives you a deeper understanding of the world that you live in. For example, if you want to learn about the Crimean War, then you would turn to literature. If you want to learn more about Napoleon Bonaparte, then you would turn to literature. If you want to learn about Marcus Garvey, you would turn to literature. If you want to learn about Jesus Christ, you would turn to literature. So, literature as a process broadens your understanding of the world you're living in, the people, places, events, the present, the past, and also the future. So, in the meaning of literature, you have to look at it as an end product. For example, at any single body of written work, and you have to look at it as a process, meaning you look at it as the process of sharpening your self-expression, broadening your vocabulary, and giving you a wider understanding of the world that you're living in. Now let's look at the purpose of literature. We have just looked at the meaning. Now let's look at the purpose. Now, the purpose of literature is for two things: to maintain and to disseminate knowledge. or in other words, to maintain and to spread knowledge. That's the purpose of literature. Of course, in the meaning where I said that it sharpens your self-expression and broaden your vocabulary, and yes, that's also a purpose, but that's in the meaning. But the purpose, the real purpose of literature from the beginning, are to maintain knowledge and to spread knowledge. That's why the Bible was written. People stop, people realize that the mouth to mouth passing on of knowledge, the mouth to ears passing on of knowledge wasn't enough. So the Bible was written. And so now the Bible is used to disseminate knowledge about God. And it also maintains that knowledge, because you can always turn to the Bible whenever time you want to learn about the Christian religion or the God of the Jews, and the God of everybody now, the God of everybody. And now we look at, so you look at the meaning, the purpose, now we look at the benefits. How does literature benefit you? It benefits you a lot. I'm sure you must have been to school. Now, if you within the school system, there have to be books. And so you will notice that in order for you to gain knowledge, and in order for you to pass on knowledge, the best way of doing that is literature. Because if you have a story to tell, calling a bunch of people and telling them will not get that story across the world. But if you turn to writing down that story, then you can disseminate that knowledge, that story, to a wider audience. So the meaning of literature, the purpose of literature, and the benefits of literature are the three things that you look at when you want to understand literature. That's how it is. Really, that's how it is. So let's just summarize everything. So to understand literature, first you need to know its meaning. You break down the meaning in two parts. One, you define it as an end product, as a single body of written work. And you define it, and you also break it down in a second part as a process to broaden your vocabulary, sharpen your experience, and give you a wider understanding of the world you're living in. Then you look at the purpose of literature: to maintain and to disseminate knowledge. And the third aspect is the benefits of literature, and that is to educate or to entertain. Guys, I hope I've been very helpful with this topic tonight. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll enjoy the other episode in my program. Good night.